001.
Yeah! CNN? What's up with that?
Up next, Kirby Crackle Dash Mutate, Baby Lip Back.
Kirby, that's Kirby Crap. How you all doing? Hello? It's Blood. It's your boy, Blood Adam, the comic pimp at your service. Wheeling, dealing, vagina stealing. Woo! 2 more times. Testify. Awesome sauce. I'm nerdcore. But thank you all. Like I said, I'm Blood Adam. I am your party host. If you see me going downstairs, it's because I'm not allowed to drink carpet. I'm not allowed to drink soda in any carpeted area of my of the house I'm living in, which is part of my lease agreement. And if that gets broken, I don't get my security deposit back. So, you know, that's how that works. So if you see me running down the stairs every so often, it's to get a sip of soda. Because, like we discovered 2 episodes ago, everything goes great with a Coca-Cola. So I bought some Coca-Cola today when I went grocery shopping. First of all, in a little bit, you know, I'm going to be playing an interview I conducted today with a good friend of the show, a good friend of mine, Anthony Hemmick. Anthony Hemmick is the creator of the website comicsheatingup.net. You know, if you're looking to figure out what comic books to buy, if you want to resell them on eBay or at conventions, or if you're a retailer and you own a store, and you want to see, you know, what books to pluck out of your dollar box and start, you know, marking those things up to make a money. It's awesome sauce. But we're going to learn Anthony's secret origin and the secret origins of comics heating up. First of all, I want to say, Anthony, first I'd like to, thank you for all the love and support you've shown me, the podcast, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping make a dream come true with this podcast. Secondly, I apologize for all the interruptions, but my mom was, like I said, unless you want to put the streets in Braille, you don't want me driving no car. I don't want to hear, woo, 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 pull over, pull over. Then I have to explain to the cops why a blind man is crashing into everything on the roads. That wouldn't be good. So my mom was picking me up to go grocery shopping because I had nothing in the house to eat. So the only day she was able to do it was today. And I apologize for all the interruptions during the interview, Anthony. I had the time of my life interviewing today. You have an open invitation to come back anytime you want. Maybe you and I can come up with a regular segment for the show. And I just love you and I thank you. And without further ado, and I know my college professor who taught me public speaking would shoot me right now for saying without further ado, because she told me never to say that. But I'm gonna play this through you now, and this is just awesome and amazing.
Kirby.
Alright, cool. You ready, man?
Yep.
Alright, cool. So, when did you start reading comics, Donnie?
I started reading comics when I was about 10 years old. My mom bought me this comic book collector starter kit from Sears for Christmas one year. And in the box, there was about 50 different comics in there, just random comics. There was Avengers, Transformers, mostly Marvel stuff, DC books. And I was instantly hooked. Fast forward 30 years, and 31 years, I'm still reading comic books today.
I hear that.
What's that?
I said I hear that. It's basically the same thing for me. Someone bought me a comic when I was like 8 or 9, and it was like a Spider-Man, and I was instantly hooked.
It's your blood, man. I'll be honest, I started doing sales of comics about 8 years ago. I had lost my job, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I found a stack of #1 first prints, and they were going for like $20, $30 online. And I bought them all, and I see them
Yeah.
like $20 all this money. I felt so good about that.
1 second, Tony. Hello?
What's that?
1 sec. Tell him I just need to be shot. You there, Tony?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was picking up the house phone for a second, and it turned out to be a telemarketer.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so you turned that stack of comics into a good chunk of change.
Yep, and I've been hooked again ever since. I've gone past just reading into selling on the secondary market. That's kind of been a second hook for me. Not only do I love comics and stories and art, but I love the fact that I can take something that's new or recent and turn it into a real canon.
Yeah, that actually comes through when I look at the comixheatingup.net, and I read your reports almost 2-3 times a day.
I appreciate that.
I really do, because I'm actually, because when I decided to become a dealer again, I decided to, there's 3 websites I go to. Yours, I go to comic book scalping every so often, and to the best comics.
Yeah, comic book scalping is Jimmy Witty. He's such a dynamic person.
I love Jimmy. He's
Awesome character.
yeah. In fact, I guess. So how did you start comixheatingup.net?
That's kind of a funny story, really. The way I came about
personal thing. The sex appeal was 11.
That's such a funny book. I just hung out with Kirby the Nazis.
Was that at AwesomeCon? Because I just watched your Kevin Easton interview, and I thought that was so amazing.
You know, actually, he was doing a signing at AwesomeCon, but he had to leave because he was doing a signing about an hour up the road in a books and millions store. So I didn't get a chance to see him at the signing because I was actually interviewing Kevin Easton, the original artist of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And so I left because it was a very literally an hour away from the convention to hang out with him at this books and millions. And yeah, it's just the standard signing, but I talked to him because he's seen me and did a bunch of different events. And he's such a character,
He seemed cool.
A comic book character.
Yeah, I met his wife. I met his wife a few years back, Julie Strand, and she was really fascinating. So.
I haven't met his wife, but yeah, he's such a dynamic personality.
Yeah. Actually, I want to give you a tip while we're on the subject of Kevin Eastman. I don't know if this is going to be a comic that's going to heat up all that much, but August's Heavy Metal is actually going to be printing up that Argo art that Jack Kirby did for the movie Argo.
Oh, okay.
I see it, I don't know if it's sentimentality, but I actually, might pick up a few extra of those for speculation. Which actually brings me to my next question. What is the weirdest trend you've seen in the last 2 years?
The biggest trend that I've seen, it could just be anything slightly television or movie related. Jumping up and down, even just random characters. I think one appearance on like The Flash. DC does a great job with their TV shows.
Oh, their shows are awesome sauce. I recently got to interview Will Holland at the Atlantic City Comic Con. And the thing I also like about their shows is the cast of those shows. Get it? And they get the fan base to the point where they're the sweetest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
Like, I've noticed, I don't know if you noticed this, but I've even noticed like things like the first appearance like Double Down, or the first appearance of some C-string flash villain that makes an appearance in the show. Started heating up.
Even the Marvel movies, I mean, with some of the Deadpool castings, what's her name? Megasonic Warhead or whatever, such an obscure character.
Is that the debut X-Men 115 that just shot up?
Yeah, and I was able to pull a couple of dawyne copies of that, the Cyclops variant. Cyclops was the variant.
That's the one that's the variant?
Yeah, I think Cyclops was the variant. Wolverine on the cover was the standard cover.
Alright.
But, the fact that it's just such a random book. I tweet a lot. I get 30, 40 copies so far. Different ones, and I'm always looking for stuff like that. That's by far the weirdest kind. Just because it's just little obscure characters that suddenly become high.
Alright, yeah. And now I'm starting to see, like, things, like, I never thought I'd see something like Cyborg Superman shoot up again. Just because of the Supergirl show.
Right.
And I'm just talking this first appearance even, I'm just like, the Superman 78, with the die-cut cover, I'm not getting like $5 to $8 for, and I'm just like, why?
Well, that's kind of the fun thing is that, it's just like random little comics that you can find that most people aren't thinking of. You can find things out, I've never been represented in a dollar man. And, a lot of people don't be selling comics on eBay for under $10.
It's really not worth it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not worth it, but, there's someone else from them. I make a lot of money off small sales. I work right across the street from a post office, so to me it's worth it if I pay.
That's true. Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yep. Let's see. When did you start doing your signed comics? Because I find that to be fascinating with comics heating up.
Yeah, signed comics. I love signed comics. I love meeting the creators.
2 days too late. And I was like, darn.
Yeah, it was Kirby and on church. And, I said, hey, I'm going to the signing. Does anybody want to sign a copy? And I'm not charging, believe it or not, I don't charge that much. Part of it is, the cost of the book. I'm paying for retail for the book. Paying board. Postage is usually, they usually say, X amount of dollars for, the signed copy shipped. And then, it's travel time and work. I'm standing in line, for Scott Snyder, I was in line 6 hours.
Yep.
And I had to bring an assistant with me because it was 6 hours, but they limited me to 5 books. And I had a bunch of order signs where a couple of people with me that I had to pay out of pocket and get them to do the signings.
Yep.
The biggest one I've ever done was Kelly Suki comic.
Yeah, that
Rios.
was that for the Bitch Planet?
What was that? I'm sorry.
I said, was that for Bitch Planet?
No, that was for Pretty Deadly.
Okay.
Bitch Planet, I'll tell you that in a second. It's kind of funny. But no, it wasn't Bitch Planet. It was Grindhouse with Bounce Together.
Alright, cool.
But but Prey was Pretty Deadly, and I was pushing the limits when I go to these signings. I'll ask for a signature, and then ask for a sketch if I'm an artist there. There's no way I'm going to pass up the opportunity to get a sketch done by him. And those usually stay in my private collection for the sign. So I literally have hundreds of signed books to go to different signings. And like I said, I have like, hey, is anybody interested? Anybody want signed copies? And usually, not only do they sign copies, but they're signed variants. So like I'll offer up like a signed Phantom or signed Third Eye variant, something that people can't normally get in their areas anyway, because variants are primarily East Coast stores. Third Eye is just in the Maryland area, but they do a lot of signings anyway. So I think trip tons Third Eye comics.
Yeah, I've noticed that. So I was going to ask you if I was wondering if they actually sponsored the website at times, because I always see them up there.
I'm a big fan of the shop and the business practice. They're really nice people when you go in. They pay attention to you. They make suggestions. They ask you what you like. They say, have you tried this? You like this? Have you tried this? I mean, they're just people who are so into comic books. And it's insane. I mean, they have a love of comics. Like I love comics.
Yeah, same.
Conversations I have with people.
Actually, one of my favorite shops in the world to go to, speaking of the Phantom variants, is actually when I'm up in Massachusetts. It's going at the Larry's Wonderful World of Comics.
Right. That's Larry's.
That's his baby. Which actually this segues into my next question. Do you think variants have gone too far? I mean,
the problem I have with variants is every time I take a variant to go in on and get a couple of copies of these things in the tag, that's not the reason I think they've gone too far. We've got new books or rewritten books that have 6, 7, 8 covers, comics with 13 or 14 covers. While I like variants personally, I pick the ones that I like the art on, or feature a character that I like. Things like the Deadpool variants that they keep doing, Deadpool.
They do way too many of them. As much as I love the Deadpool variants, Anthony, there's way too many of them. That and Harley Quinn lately. It's just like every...
Harley Quinn is definitely another character that it sells, and that's why they do it.
Yep.
And I think that's why Image was kind of pulling back. There's no more exclusive store variants, just because they're seeing the trend that it's diluting itself.
It's too much. I mean,
I don't necessarily agree with the way that Image did it, because they're doing exclusive variants for the trade paperbacks. I think you understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, because the one thing that really ticked me off as a, future store owner and a convention goer was the Star Wars #1 variants. It was just like, that's nice. Wait a minute. Does anyone remember 1994 or 1995 when we had this club?
Well, the market is very different now as it was in the 1990s. I see a lot of comparisons between the 1990s. The
at the secondary market and selling those books in the 90s. I just found out now that Ren and Stimpy really had 14 printings.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
It's insane. See, that's the way. Another way the market does out of the fact that the hardwoods are so low compared to what they are in the 90s. The way we generate information now is different.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, internet was kind of, a fledgling thing. eBay was not what eBay is now. Just the juggernaut of sales that it is.
Yeah, so I mean, back in the 90s, you had CBJ.
Comics is selling on eBay.
Yep.
So the marketplace is different. The way we interface is different. And everybody says that the speculator bursting.
I don't. I really don't, because I think we finally become mainstream enough that it's being seen as a legitimate art form for the first time. And you look at like Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Windows log on dialog, log on frame, list box CBVI.
Yay, my computer just timed out. That's cool. You look at like the Flash. You look at Arrow, and I mean, there's more people watching the Flash and reading the books. But I'm also seeing at conventions where I did the Atlantic City Comic Con a few weeks ago. Every Flash comic I brought went bye-bye.
That's, I agree with you. I don't see the bubble bursting. What I do see is I've never made pictures of one bubble. They throw speculation in there as one bubble. And I see multiple bubbles burst a couple of years ago. The Sixth Gun wasn't picked up for the TV show. That book crumbled. I was selling copies for $300. I was selling, copies that were in fair condition for $100.
I remember that.
Like 10 or 12 issues. I was like, look, payments off this. But then that bubble burst. And there was a time that Peter Panzer comes.
That paid my rent one month. Peter Panzer was.
And Peter Panzer comes. You could pick up two issues of Peter Panzer comes like 7, 6, 7, 8, 9. It sold for $20 the day that it came out because the print runs were so low.
I remember that.
And issue 10, because the print run jumped up. I'm still sitting on like 5 or 10 copies of Peter Panzer House number 10 just because the bubble on that first. But the bubble of speculation first.
Exactly. I think it just moved to something else. Now, I think, because I've seen Hellblazer cool off now.
Which one's that?
I've seen Hellblazer cool off now because the show didn't get picked up from the second season.
But something else can happen. John Constantine could be in the just dark movie. They could do it right, and the books can get back up again.
Exactly. I mean,
it's I never get fire still. Like there are still all of them. I'm talking about Hellblazer stuff because the market's still long. They've already made their money for me, and I'll sit on it until the next time the character comes in, so that could be 6 months, 2 years. Yeah, but eventually I see it come back.
and unfortunately, Constantine is one of those characters that other media has not been kind to.
Yeah. No, I think they've done great with the movie. I'm talking the movie Constantine with Keanu Reeves. But they've done great with the movie. Just thinking of it from the essence of Constantine. The character can come back. The books can do very well.
That's true. I look at Daredevil now. I mean, everyone has Netflix, thanks to Netflix. Like I said, as I told you, I'm visually impaired. I walk with a cane at conventions. All of a sudden, people see me walk by, and they're like, "Hey, Daredevil!" And I was just like, "No, actually, I think at New York Comic Con, I'm going to dress up in a suit and tie and dye my hair red." I just got up with it. I was like, okay, Blind Adam was something I came up with just because I was doing a comic book convention. I had to explain it to two customers who saw me with a cane. I was like, no, I really am visually impaired. You have to ask me questions.
I think that's a good thing. I think that's one thing that people are afraid to do is to see somebody that are differently able making these comments, my initial reaction was that he was welcoming to the questions. Now, of course, I have 3-year-old, so I've got a lot of questions.
Yeah, I can imagine because my 11-year niece's friends are that same way all the time. And it's just like, I'll never. There's no question no questions are stupid, no questions are wrong. And I'll even take out like because I read Braille, print, and do text. And I'll show them how I read Braille, and I'll let them play with the cane, and it's just whatever you can do to just let people, just to bridge that gap. And I actually think Daredevil's actually doing that, in a way, because that was my.
With the public, I'm in the public service forum. I work for social services. During my day job, I go to these different conferences. I went to a disability conference not too long ago, and they were talking about the statistics of, accommodations for people. We can't automatically assume that people who are blind can read Braille because so few people in the blind community actually read Braille.
Actually, I've only been reading it for about a year and a half now, and that's only because the modern technology. And then finally, I was just like, you know what? I wanted to, I actually wanted to label dividers for when I was at conventions. And so my girlfriend at the time was like, you can use Braille. I use it. It's not going to hurt you. And then, yeah, so I was just like, okay, I guess she has a point. She doesn't listen to the podcast anyway, so I can say that she was right. I guess, if you could pick 5 books that you think that are going to rise in value in the next, 2 to 3 months, what would they be?
2 to 3 months is hard. I mean, short-term speculation, that's the hardest thing. I can see Enormous, my 250 Nick Daniels book, The Giant Monster.
Yeah, that's on my top 10 right now.
Yeah, I see that as growing as more and more news comes out about that show. That print one is so tiny on this first 6 issues, including the copying of Very Bad. It's going to, I think that book is going to explode. Now, these books are out that you get Walking Dead level. I don't know if anything will ever hit Walking Dead level again.
I think Walking Dead was a once in a decade. I think Walking Dead was once in a decade.
Yeah, but now going to the next decade, Walking Dead is already in its 10th year. It's time to look at the next book of the decade, and with the tiny print runs being on par with the Walking Dead issues, Enormous for 258 very well can be that book. I really like Fight Club right now.
Yeah, actually that's probably rounds out my top 5 at number 5, just because it's a classic movie, double audience, and that variant where they have that looks like the Incredible Hulk variant is pretty sweet.
Yeah, and that was hanging out with Jim Zdarsky at the Fight Club signing. He did the Books of Million variant.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, unfortunately, once again, I emailed you a little too late.
Yeah, that's you got to be on the ball with this because these things go very fast. Anytime I offer up a signing opportunity, I keep in mind what I physically do with the expectation I'll contact you, Books of Million in advance, and how many copies can I get? And if you can get X amount of copies, and then I hope in this case it's not the first. In this case, it was like 10 guys who wanted
most is the way he was questioning social norms at the time. There was that whole scene between Brad Pitt and Norton, and in the beginning when they had that first fight, and I'm just like, there's something that sticks with it. The whole, in order to have everything, are you willing to lose everything type mentality.
Well, we're going through a similar thing. My wife and I we're trying to downsize because we have so much stuff, and not including the 40,000 comics that I have. That's all limits of inventory. But, we just look around the house and like, okay, well, we've got all this stuff, we've got this IKEA stuff, and it was good at its time, but, it's not the furniture that we'll have for, the next 10 years. Let's get rid of stuff. We just started shedding so much rich stuff that it's been liberating again. The comics is not shed. But, it's like close. It used to be not only on the personal level, but, on that level that this book would pop. I think the first print sold out.
It did.
So, interesting to see. If nothing else, this Larry's comics said that this book he's been selling on Amazon for, forever, just because of the fact that it's got such a crossover appeal.
Yeah, I saw that on his Speculation Academy, which I'm not on there as often as I should be.
Larry's one of the guys who got me into speculation. He used to send out the Speculator newsletter, which was fantastic. And that was one of the things.
I wish he would go back to doing that, because I used to look forward. First he did it on his website, and then he did it through a newsletter, and then he did it on the CGC message boards for a while, and I think he got kicked off of there. And I just left before they kicked me off.
Yeah, I try to stay out of drama. I don't worry about who's getting kicked off or what.
No, actually, I just left because I made one too many spelling mistakes too many, and someone said something insulting, and I was like, nah, and I haven't been back ever since.
Yeah, well, it's a sad thing because there's a great wealth of knowledge and dynamic forum where people are talking about, books, people in general, genuine interest in books, but, personalities being what they are, the internet allowing for anonymity.
Yeah.
It's easy to say offensive things, and, I don't know, I think I'm a little bit of hot water or something else, but, it's just, it is what it is.
Exactly.
The worst people come out of the internet, and
Yes.
your spelling mistakes are because, you're 60% blind.
Yeah, it's just and I use a computer that, that talks back to me, and it sounds right, and even when I do spell check is telling me it's right. It's like, okay. And then they get like I got 5 posts being like, blah, 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 and I was like, I started going back there now just because of the podcast, and, it's just like, and I like to go there for their convention calendar.
Yeah, I got into a bit of heat over New York Comic Con this year in reference to I showed up in line for the Daredevil cast signing, and it was,
You were in that line too?
what's that?
You were in that fiasco as well?
Yeah, and what had happened was I was standing there, and there was a guy there with his
know, because I was the first person in line.
Right. It was the ticket giveaways that people got on the fact that it was the ticket giveaways and not the signing itself. And then, but I used the word dispersed versus dispersed. And I'm using, you know, when I'm writing, I'm on the road, I'm with my iPhone or my iPad using the voice, the voice communication.
Welcome to my world, man.
East Coast accident, and it picked up the word dispersed instead of disperse.
Yep.
And people just ripped me apart for using the wrong word. It was so petty. But
I know.
That's what it was.
You know, actually, I guess that was my one of my. I'm looking at my list, and what do you think of this booming convention scene? Do you think it's going a little crazy now?
It is. I'm loving the fact that there's so many conventions.
So am I.
I travel to several conventions. I've been doing a lot of East Coast conventions. I'll go from. There's several I want to go to. I just haven't been able to arrange it. I go from AwesomeCon in DC, Walmart convention, Walmart Comic Con, usually Wizard World Philly, which I stopped doing.
Black.
New York Comic Con, and then there's the big ones, and then I'll do smaller, local shows. But I love it, man. I love getting out there. I love digging through back issue bins. I love having access to back issue bins that I normally wouldn't have access to.
Yeah.
I like to keep it, I'm not a big fan of the media crossover. I don't need to be every professional wrestler in existence. I think everyone can sign their photos of professional wrestlers or Playboy models.
I'll keep my opinion on the Playboy models thing to myself, but
It's just not good to hang it too small kids at home.
no, I hear you. You know, I actually, but I have a love-hate relationship with the media crossover, because, for a perfect example, I was at the ACBC Boardwalk Con a couple weeks ago, and it's the same people that's the con that's actually promoted by the people who run the Marvel booths. And great promotion. They still have their need to learn. But I got to do an interview with Laura Holland, and I got to hang out with Manu Bennett. Normal other media stars you wouldn't have access to normally.
Yeah.
So but I look at Wizard World now, and it's like about half your guest list isn't even relevant.
I stopped doing Wizard World Philadelphia after last year because I went to my niece New Year's Comic Convention. That's really a wonderful piece of the same interest that I do. My niece Cora, and so I took my wife and my niece Cora to this comic book convention. They were, for real, they loved the fact all the celebrities were there. But I'm walking around doing line art in comic books.
Yep.
And there's maybe 5 comic book dealers on the show.
This year was even worse. This year, and the thing that really ticked me off the most about this year is certain celebrities were sold out before I even got in the door, and they didn't announce it anywhere. So, now, I spent 3 hours driving to go interview and meet Stephen Amell. And it was like, nope. Hang on a second. Yes, Mom? Are we knocking? No. Hey, Tom? I'm going to have to go now.
That's fine. Go to it.
Yeah, thank you so much for everything, man.
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, bye.
And that, my friends, I had to turn the score's head around. Like I said, they're the official club of the Awesome Sauce Comics podcast, West 28th Street between 10th and 11th Avenues. But Anthony, once again, I'd like to apologize for all the interruptions. The phone ringing. I guess my mom was knocking, and I didn't hear her knocking. She was rapping at my chamber door, and I didn't hear it. What's up with that? But I thank you for the wonderful, awesome, and amazing interview. If anyone who's interested in, you need to make some extra money, you love your comic books, you love reading them, you love them for the stories, the art, how they inspired you to never give up, as the John Cena t-shirt says. Whether you get to go to a comic book convention and, sell some duplicates, or you go on eBay, or you go to buy an extra copy to get it signed by your favorite actor who plays that character in a TV show. If you go to www.comicsheatingup.com, Anthony will teach you and show you what books that you can make the most money on, and you can get the most bang for your buck. Check out his interview with Kevin Eastman of TMNT fame. He had a very interesting, thing on there about, the Ant-Man movie poster. And I love comicsheatingup.net. For every penny that I made off of tips I got from your site, Anthony, thank you. I love you, and I thank you for the support. And I really hope, Anthony, that we get to do this again. I would like to do a longer interview sometime in the near future. You have an open invitation to come at any time you want, to talk about anything you want. And I hope to see you at a convention sometime soon. And I thank you, man. And with that, I have a message from Jillian Kirby. Jillian Kirby is the youngest grandchild of the legendary Hall of Famer, the co-creator of the entire Marvel Universe. Yes, he did create the costume of Spider-Man, and the Daredevil #1 cover was Kirby. Jack Kirby. So this is, the Hero Initiative is an organization that helps comic book creators in need of medical. That means medical help, get medical help. For the financial help, get financial help. Clothing, food, shelter. And Jillian can say everything better than I can about Kirby's 3 Heroes, so I'm going to play the clip.
I've never heard of that. Iron Man. Thor. And the Hulk famously flew from the comic book origins to the silver screen. These Avengers have one thing in common. They were just some of the numerous characters created or co-created by my grandfather, comic book artist Jack Kirby. Born into poverty on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, my grandfather Jack grew up to be one of the most groundbreaking and innovative comic book artists of all time. August 28th would be his 97th birthday. This summer, once again, I am asking you to be a part of my Kirby for Heroes campaign, which honors my grandfather's legacy by giving back to the comic book industry he helped create. I created the Kirby for Heroes campaign back in 2012, for what was then my grandfather's 95th birthday. He passed away the year before I was born, so I never got a chance to know him personally. I originally created the campaign as a means to connect with the grandfather that I never knew, as well as the artist and person of goodwill. The Kirby for Heroes campaign is an annual event dedicated to raising funds for the Hero Initiative, which is the only non-profit federally chartered organization dedicated to helping comic book creators, artists, and writers in need of medical or financial assistance. I thought that this would be a great way to honor my grandfather's legacy, since this is an organization that gives back to the comic book community, as well as helping people in need. I know that if my grandfather were alive today, he would be one of the first people to support this cause because of his kind spirit and generosity. When I created the campaign in 2012, my main focus was on comic book retailers, but as it expanded and grew to include the Kirby for Heroes Facebook page and website, the amount of individual donations increased tremendously, and that's what really helped me to meet my 2013
goal of raising $10,000 for the Hero Initiative. I challenge you to help me achieve my goal of raising $15,000 for the Hero Initiative this year. There are 3 ways that you can donate to the Kirby for Heroes campaign and support the Hero Initiative. One is that you can donate online by going to the Hero Initiative website and click Donate. Be sure to type Kirby for Heroes where it asks for special instructions. The next way is to mail in a donation to the Hero Initiative at the address shown. And last but not least, visit your local comic book retailer. Certain stores across the country are donating a percentage of sales on August 28th to the Hero Initiative as a part of the Kirby for Heroes campaign. Another way you can contribute is through the annual Wake Up and Draw event, open to all. On August 28th, over 60 artists will donate their time and talent to create works of art. These pieces will be auctioned off at a later date on eBay to benefit the Hero Initiative. If my grandfather were alive today, he and I would give you our blessing for donating to the Hero Initiative. I thank you for your support of the Kirby for Heroes campaign.
Up next, Great with Legends reveal with Slurpees. Back.
I can go for some Slurpees right now. 7-Eleven with the big gulp with the plastic collectible cups. They're awesome sauce. Now, I say what we do is we help Jillian in the Hero Initiative reach Jillian's goal for whatever that is in 2015. I mean, there's so many comic book creators from the first and second and even the third generation of people who created the things that we love. And I said it the other day, Bill Mantlo, who created Rocket Raccoon, was having medical issues and couldn't afford things. So I said what we do. Let's just say you're in a position where you can't donate money financially because you're in financial straits, you can't afford it, then do this. Make a flyer, bring it to your local comic book store, convince your local comic book store to donate a portion of their earnings through August 28th, 2015 to Kirby for Heroes. Maybe not every comic book store in the nation knows about it. Go to a comic book convention, ask them for a fan table, and say, I want to sell some stuff and donate the money to Kirby's for Heroes that day. Maybe you do something nice for someone, like you donate some clothes to a charity. You find out that a comic book creator who's hard on their luck after creating some of the most beautiful creations, because in my opinion, this industry, which gave me everything I have due to my life, and I'm going to share what Jack Kirby inspired me to do in about a minute. If you know of a creator who's on hard times, you have extra clothes that you're not using, give them clothes. If you can afford to get them some extra food and help pay some of their food bills, and that will help an aging creator who's financially down on their luck. If you can't afford to give financially, it doesn't always have to be my financial. It could be getting the word out. Tweet, Facebook, however you can help. It's like it was said in Batman and Robin. Not every hero wears a mask and goes out and fights crime. Sometimes it's just a pat in the back when you want to give up, and they say you don't give up, and you don't. Now getting back to, and trust me, I have an idea, because I got ideas. I'm going to tie it into Project X a little bit, but I have something I'm going to help the Hero Initiative and Jillian reach her financial goal for 2015. I'm just not talking about it on the air yet. Plus, I'm going to donate some money when it gets a little closer. But like I said, I'm visually impaired. If you heard issue 28, My Secret Origin, You know, I suffer from retinitis pigmentosus, which is a degenerative eye condition. You know, I even talked about it in my blind love story. But being a 13, 14-year-old kid, you know, this goes back to the coming of the Silver Surfer and Galactus story. Fantastic Four 48, 49, and 50. You know? Hang on one second. If this is never a telemarketer, I'm going to lose my mind. And it's a telemarketer! Yay! Clown shoe motherfuckers. I'm sorry to swear during this touching it. Yeah. who am I trying to convince? Of course I swear all the time. Who am I trying to get? You know? But, back to my touching tribute to Jack. Fantastic Four, 48, 49, and 50, the coming of Galactus. It's not the Fantastic Four who saved the day. It's not, it's collaborative! The ever-loving blue-eyed thing who convinces the Silver Surfer to join the cause of humanity as he's preparing Galactus to devour the Earth. It's not the super intelligent stretcho, Reed Richards. It's that flame on! You know, even though he was going off to space to get the ultimate nullifier, Human Torch. It wasn't even the force field slinging invisible woman, or invisible girl, Sue Storm as she was at that point. They weren't married yet, or at least I don't think. You know. It was the blind, gentle sculptress. Like what you expect me to, I can't spell, I can't pronounce words. You know, not my problem. You know, but it's the blind woman, Alicia Masters, the girlfriend of Ben Grimm, who convinces the Silver Surfer that humanity is worth saving just by talking to him, by being kind. And it's so beautifully done in the 1994 animated series that there's a two-part episode that animates FF 48, 49, and 50. I think it's the Marvel Treasury Edition issue 2 reprints all three of the issues in one shot. Yeah, for those who want a cheaper way to read it, I know it's in a couple different trades and hardcovers. You know, but you know, it's Alicia Masters' nobility in being able to see into people's souls that convinces the Silver Surfer to, you know, to fight for humanity. And being a visually impaired teenager who thought his life was over and he wasn't going to be useless and helpless and have to depend on people his entire life. Jack Kirby's co-creation of the Silver Surfer, especially Alicia Masters, showed me that being blind wasn't a curse. It was the greatest blessing you could ever have. Yeah, I am crying. Big whoop. Because that's how much that moment in comic book history inspired me to do better and to never give up. Alright? You know, so we all have a Jack Kirby moment like that. We all have a moment to thank Jack and to contribute to a cause that he would give gladly to. From every story I've heard from my good friend Joey Kramer. Hey Joey, you gotta email me that address and all that information if you want me to promote the convention and the podcast, bro. Talk to you later, buddy. You know, whether it be Mark Evanier, you know, anyone who worked with Stan or understand knows how generous and how great he was. And I say we all help Jillian reach her goals. We all help the creators of yesterday and make sure that they're well taken care of, because without them, there would be no us. And like I said, we all have Jack Kirby, something we owe Jack, or Jacob Kurtzberg, which is his name pronounced in Hebrew, or Yiddish. For. And the Jacob I say shalom, shalom, and my Hebrew is very rusty, I apologize. Thank you for everything, all the entertainment, and I love you, Jack. And I thank you so much for everything you've ever done for this industry, and for creating a world that I was to be inspired by, and be able to form a life around. And with that, I'm gonna play something to, get me back on track.
Kirby for girls. Before I will lose the mental and the reps on the rocks.
Look at that, Peter.
Go ahead, blow me. And you're electrifying, yes. But hang with me, that's just absurd. See, now you gotta tell your family you just got schooled by Barney's turd. Wait. That's your material. You can have your joke back. Just don't go racing and waste Mountain Rock, because your mountain is broke back. Wait. But Rock's new movie, well, it's nothing like Walking Tall. He spends the movie in a bowling alley, polishing my balls. But people's family. He's never with the people. Rock, your words are see-through. You imitate me every time you leave. For 7 years, we couldn't see you. And is it Rock or is it Dwayne? Pick a side, come on, son. If I was you, I'd stick with Rock, because Dwayne ain't got a choice, son. If you'll see me in WrestleMania, well, I'll make sure not to miss it. If you ain't gonna whip my candy ass, dude, I'll make sure you kiss it. You're the WrestleMania host, Rock. That's your role. Knowing. You tell these people that you love them. I'm here every week to show it. That's called a first round knockout. And now you know that I'm not playing. Run your mouth all you want to. It doesn't matter what you say.
Johnson.
Now that, my friends, was a classic rap promo from John Cena going into WrestleMania 27. I gave a review of Monday Night Raw the other night, where I actually think Kevin Owens is going to be the next big star because he won his Elimination Chamber match against John Cena, and they're now doing an epic program between John Cena and Kevin Owens. I played that promo for two reasons. One, little trivia about John Cena. At one point, he was up for the role of playing Captain America. After playing that turd in the Punch Bowl movie, the Marine movie, I'm glad he never got the part. The Marine movie sucked. And I testify! Awesome sauce! It's a horrible movie. The Marine just was, I don't know why the WWE put out like 5 of them. John Cena is the king of bad movies, but he's a great wrestler. The Dawyne, the Rock Johnson is going to be playing Black Adam in the upcoming Shazam movie, and I am so excited. He's going to be an electrifying Shazam movie, and I cannot wait to see it. But The Rock was in a lot of crappy movies too. Dune. I haven't seen San Andreas yet, but it looks pretty good. The best movie he was ever in is Southland Tales, where he played alongside Sarah Michelle Gellar, along with, I think it was Johnny Knoxville. No. Justin Timberlake was in it. It was done by Richard Kelly. Kevin Smith had a cameo. Southland Tales. It's long. But it's such an amazing movie. It was his sequel, the second movie he made after Johnny Darko. Came out around 2007, 2008-ish, I believe. The other thing is, does anyone think Dwayne The Rock Johnson would make an awesome Namor McKenzie, a.k.a. the Submariner, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Or is it just me? I mean, if you all think that Dawyne, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, Johnson, would make an awesome Namor the Submariner, just send me an email at comicpimpvip@gmail. You can call me for voicemail at 201-675-2104. I'll play your comments on the air. Next, I actually think my dream cast for a Namor movie would be Dwayne Johnson. You know, alright, at least I gotta get to him. I don't know. I'll come up with a dream entire cast. Maybe we can have, someone like maybe an unknown actress play Lady Dorma. You need someone a little bit older for Lord Bashti. Maybe, we do a little bit of Krang and a team up with Krang and Atuma. This way we don't have to do, and who would we have the main villain be? Would it be the Lord Krang or Atuma? I need to know. I need the answers. Testify! Testify! But, I really, really dig what WWE was doing on Monday Night Raw. I am a big wrestling fan, as well as a comic book fan, and, I explained in episode 27 what the top 5 things that keep me going, that teach me never to give up are, and, I just really think, that, maybe even John Cena, if he was doing voiceover only, would be a cool character in the Marvel Universe. Dave Bautista did a bang-up job as Drax in Guardians, and he's an ex-WWE champion. So, everything is just awesome. So, I'm going to play a closing song from Kirby Crackle called the, because they're nerd rock. They're nerd rock and roll. They actually promote the big comic book convention, Emerald City Con up in Seattle in March. They're also the official rock band for Marvel Comics. Great Lakes Avengers is what I'm going to close out with. Kirby Crackle's awesome sauce. Once again, I'd like to thank Anthony Hammock for doing an interview with me today. If you want to learn more about what comics are going up in value, going down in value, go to comicsheatingup.net. Put the 3 W's in front. I thank you all for being such a loving, awesome sauce family. Always keep one foot in the gutter, one fist in the gold. We're too hot to handle, too cold to hold. Blind Adam going out! Testify! Awesome sauce!
Can you buy a woman?
Wrong button.
They don't want my help. It doesn't really matter. It's just a sorry.
One more for the bad guys!
One 1618. Stop recording button. Enter.